Good afternoon, or evening, or morning, or whenever you're watching this. This is a short video designed to help you access and find library research and academic journal articles, specifically for your academic argument essay, which is going to be due at the last day of the semester, December 8th. So what I have here is a list of commonly used databases, um, different ways of finding facts and locations that you might look, and then also a few different strategies that I'll go over real quickly. Um, First of all, what I would do is start off by forming an inquiry question. And I went ahead and I wrote one down here. My inquiry question is, should ordinary Americans convert to vegetarianism? And that's what I'm going to be trying to find out. I'm going to use that question to walk you through a range of different academic journals and places that you might look for sources. Okay. So to start off, I'm going to actually not jump right into these library databases. Those are usually going to be your best bet, but I really like to start with books because those are going to be your biggest, most comprehensive source of information. And to get books, the easiest way to do that is from the library. So if you Google Harmony Library, it'll take you right to the search here where the research pops up. You just click there. And to search for books, all you have to do is type into the search bar anything to do with your subject. And you see what you get, and it'll recommend things for you. And now I have about 328 different books. The key thing when searching through your subject is to try as many different search words as you can in order to get the right kinds of books. So I might try something different. Maybe animal rights would lead me something a little bit closer to whether or not I should convert to vegetarianism. And here's a whole selection of books. And when picking one, it might be a good idea to look at the publication date and see which one is the most recent and the most relevant to your subject. And when you're actually looking at the books in the library, also keep an eye out for the audience that the book is intended for. Is it intended for a public audience and just trying to persuade somebody of their point of view? Or is it an academic book published by maybe a university press or other academic publication? What your goal is for this type of academic paper is more of the academic publisher. Okay, so here's how to find books right in these search bars. That's pretty easy and basic, and you can tell right away if you can get this book or not. If your subject doesn't turn up a lot of books in our library, you do have this link out to Prospector to connect to any of the libraries across Colorado, into Wyoming, and other states as well. So there's 1,430 books via Prospector. And these ones you can request simply by clicking the Request It button. And it will ask you to enter in the library you're affiliated with, which in this case is the Poudre Library. We're in Colorado, Poudre River Public Library District. And then you're going to have to enter your last name and your library card number, which is on your Wolf card or your library card. Okay, and that's how you use Prospector. It takes about 4 days to a week to get these books. So if you're going to use Prospector for this paper, you need to submit those as soon as you can. Okay, after you've searched through books, the next place I like to look is in the database articles, because that has a ton of information and a lot of it's available to you, and you can very easily search amongst it for specifically academic sources. First one I'll start off with, CQ Researcher, because that's probably your best bet for finding the quickest, easiest source of facts and information about a range of subjects. So I'll quickly show you that one. And if you go back to the library page, go to the home page and click on the research bar, and then the databases are listed alphabetically. CQ Researcher is under the C's. And to access the databases from anywhere outside the library, it'll pop up and you'll need to enter in your library code as well. I've already done that, so I'm already in here. And I can type in the search bar here, animal rights, and it'll give me a whole list of publications that have been issued regarding animal rights. So there's a short report here, which I can view as a PDF, done in June of 2014 on livestock. Oops, didn't mean to click that. And what CQ Researcher is a set of reports delivered to Congress. So the CQ is Congressional Quarterly, and they get these reports to fill them in on contentious issues across the United States. So you can click through these different reports, and these provide you with good information about subjects. So this looks like a pretty short one. Sometimes they have a lot longer, more substantial treatments. So I'll click this animal rights one here, and it will take me in. This is the full report on, is the treatment of animals improving? Now this isn't directly related to the question of converting over to vegetarianism, but it will provide relevant information that is credible that I can use as part of my argument that I'm making. These links on the side take you to different sets of information. So if you just want an introduction, overview, background, current situation, outlook, a few different differing perspectives on it, the chronology. I'll just click on one of these so you can see how much information is on here. And it has pages of information to read about a variety of subjects. And it shows you where the information came from, which is a good sign that it's a good source. If you're not sure if your topic is in here or if it didn't show up initially, you might try one of these browse topics to try to search for it within specific categories. You could also look by date. You could look for specifically pro-con issues, or here's directions on how to use it. So it's a good source. The only comment I have about CQ Researcher specifically is that these pro-con sections, they tend to be fairly biased. So we have the pro perspective from somebody a representative of the Meat Institute. So they're really representing somebody who has a stake in the issue, and they're not trying to be objective about it. President and CEO of the Humane Society, again, they're representing the interests of animals, and so they have a stake in it from that perspective. Neither side is really trying to be neutral, but these other introduction, overview, background articles, those are going to be a little bit more objective. So be wary of these pro-con reports. Okay, so that's CQ Researcher. Other academic databases you might look into, Academic Search Premier, you're probably familiar with that one. It tends to be highly specialized. And what that means is that the articles you're going to get are probably from peer-reviewed publications, which is great if you want good academic research, but it's less helpful if what you're looking for is clearly written facts. So if you need studies, scientific publications, that's great. If you really want information, it might be a little bit too specialized and too full of jargon to get through easily. A slightly easier source would be these ones down here, which would be JSTOR, ProQuest, and SIRS. To access these, it's the same process of going back to the library, get to the library homepage, click on Research, and to get to JSTOR, it has a nice description of each of these databases. Access to academic journals and a broad spectrum of disciplines, including education, business, history, language and literature, law, music, psychology, philosophy, and public policy. So if your topic falls within any of those categories, that's a good source. ProQuest is another source that is helpful, and it covers primarily newspapers. So if you're looking on current events, issues that have happened, editorials, just factual information, ProQuest News is a good source to use. And one other one that is also helpful is the SIRS database, and that's the Social Issues Resource Series. And this is going to cover a little bit more of current issue topics, where you might be able to find reports and perspectives on a variety of issues. So I'll go ahead and click on one of these, especially since it's slightly different than some of the databases you may have looked at already. And vegetarianism. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try to search. And here it's got similar pro-con issues, essential questions. Is a vegetarian diet better than a diet includes meat? And then it has a variety of articles on the subject. Let's see. If we click on one of these articles, just to get into it a little bit, you'll also notice that when it comes to doing your research, a lot of what can really help things go faster is if you read the articles, so maybe skim through and you find something like a piece of factual information that you know you want to use in your paper. So we could see here, maybe trendy choice is the high protein, high fiber paleo or caveman diet, and maybe you know you want to use the caveman diet in your paper. So here's a quote I want to use. I'm going to copy that. Copy, open up my Word document, go beneath my inquiry question, and we want the paleo diet. And this is just a way of categorizing my quotes, which I'll paste into here. I want to remember that it's a quote. And then the hard thing to remember is where sources came from. So if you collect a whole bunch of research, but you don't remember where your sources came from, it's going to be really hard to use in your essay. So I want to go back to my database, and I want to click on this citation button. And all of the databases have some form of citation button, so that you can simply copy the citation information into your Word document and make sure it's formatted correctly. So we'll flip it over to MLA format, get the spacing right, and it should be size 2. So that now I've got a beginning of my works cited page already going, and I've got different quotes on the paleo diet all under my citation page ready to go. Now as I get other quotes, I just will make similar works cited entries for each quote. And then I can continue reading, I can continue going back to a list of articles and start accumulating evidence, quotes, facts, and organize them by category over here. So I might make a category about health benefits and start making a list of quotes, facts, and then also don't forget to add those citations, because that will really save you a lot of time when you come to the point of assembling your paper. So as you're writing out your argument, all you have to do then is take these quotes, paraphrase them, summarize them, or directly quote them right into your paper and add this works cited into your document. So this hopefully has been a helpful quick refresher on library research. I would definitely recommend checking out all 5 of these databases to get you started. And as always, if you have any questions, email me or we'll talk in class further. Thank you.